إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Brothers and sisters, Jazakallah khairan for joining us this evening at very short notice. Alhamdulillah, we have this beautiful webinar today, inshallah, on the Quranic healing. Now, today, Alhamdulillah, we've organized this seminar, inshallah, to really get connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the Quran. And also sometimes we find that we are in, great difficulty sometimes through maybe illness, and it's a time of flu season, and also sometimes our spiritual ills. And what do we need to help us in our spiritual illnesses is we need the Quran. And tonight, inshallah, we have with us our Shaykh, our Ustad, Shaykh Baajour, all the way from America, who will be joining us, Alhamdulillah, in the UK for the first time in this coming month, inshallah, in the next couple of weeks, inshallah. So what we wanted to do is give you a little bit of a taster, inshallah, where the Shaykh will, Alhamdulillah, Ustad will give us that kind of inspiration, and also that how we can gain shifa from the Quran itself. As we know in Surah Al-Isra that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the Quran down as a shifa for us. But how do we use it as a shifa? How do we use this Quran to get rid of our spiritual ills, inshallah? So what I'll do is I'll ask the Shaykh to switch on his video, inshallah, and join us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Shaykh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah khairan, Ustad Shaykh, for joining us. Really appreciate you joining our second time online, and inshallah we look forward to having you with us here in the UK, not so long away, inshallah. So Shaykh, I just wanted to ask a few questions. Are you looking forward to joining us here in the UK? It's a bit cold, but alhamdulillah, not like America.
Wallahi, I am not looking forward. I'm looking forward too much.
Alhamdulillah.
I am really grateful that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me this opportunity, and may Allah make it strictly for His sake. Ameen, Ya Rabbil Alameen. May Allah make me meet you and all my brothers and sisters in the UK for His sake, and may Allah make us depart for His sake. Ameen, Ya Rabbil Alameen. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Jazakallah khair for this topic, even though it was very short notice, but Alhamdulillah, it's always great to speak about the Quran and the benefit of the Quran. And I was very happy that you chose this topic, because we all need to educate ourselves about the importance of the Quran, and that, to be honest with you, will fall perfect in the topic that I am coming to discuss in the UK, bi'idhnillah. So this is like a beautiful pre-preparation for what we will be discussing. And of course, we will mention it still there, because not everybody's here on the webinar. But now we will give you some, like a teaser and some taste of how important is this topic. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما يا أرحم الراحمين. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal, teach us what benefit us from what He taught us, and increase us in knowledge. I beg Allah Azza wa Jal to make this gathering full of barakah, and make us from the people who listen and apply. Ameen Ya Rabbil Alameen. My beloved brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Sad, Kitabun أنزلناه إليك مبارك ليدبروا آياته. Ya Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, this book, I have revealed it, and it's full of barakah. I'm going to stop here for 1 second. I read the Quran. I have memorized the Quran. I listen to the Quran all the time, but I'm not feeling this barakah that is mentioned in the ayah. And we all know that Allah Azza wa Jal, all his words are the absolute truth. So knowing that, that means the defect is 100% not in the Quran, it's in me. Something is wrong. This Quran, Allah said, is full of barakah, and I'm not feeling its barakah. I recite, I memorize, I listen, but I'm not feeling the barakah. Why? Let's see why the Quran was revealed. Because Muslims now all over the world are all focusing on those three things. Either they read a lot, or they memorize a lot. There are huffaz all over, and don't get me wrong, these are all great. Or they listen a lot of Quran, or they do all two or three from the three. But Allah is telling me that this Quran was revealed لِيَدَّبَّرُوا آيَاتِهِ. In order, this was revealed full of barakah, and if I want to earn and get the barakah, then I have to follow the reason it was revealed. So this Quran was revealed, and it is Mubarak when I fulfill why it was revealed. Why it was revealed, Ya Allah? لِيَدَّبَّرُوا آيَاتِهِ. So they can ponder, and not only ponder about the whole surah. No, Allah said, لِيَدَّبَّرُوا آيَاتِهِ, to ponder upon every single ayah. Imagine. So my beloved brothers and sisters, when was the last time you read the Quran with tadabbur? When was the last time you read the Quran the way it's supposed to be read? Because as we are seeing it, we are living it. This Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, in it there is hikmah, in it there is nur, in it there is rahmah, all that. I'm not feeling that. That means I'm doing something wrong. I'm not feeling this promises. Why? Because I am not fulfilling the purpose it was revealed. I'm just reading Alif Lam Mim ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. Yalla yalla, which is by the way, yani, there are many forms of reading, and reading, memorizing, listening. They are all not a purpose. They are means to get to the goal, which is tadabbur. So I read to get to the pondering. I memorize to get to the pondering. I listen so I can ponder. Not, the listening is not should be the goal. Oh, I listen every single day. I read every single day. I memorize a lot. So if I memorize the whole Quran, alhamdulillah, this is one of the greatest achievements ever. But I have no clue. I have no clue what I memorized. How would I benefit? I'll give you an example. I gave this example before. There's a I don't know if you have that store over there in the UK. It's called IKEA. You have IKEA in the UK, the furniture store?
Yes, we do, Shaykh.
Okay. So in IKEA, you go and buy stuff that you have to assemble yourself. Let's say I went to IKEA and I bought a desk. The desk came in a box. I took the manual. I read the manual 10 times. I memorized the manual. I even told my wife, recite the manual to me. I recited the whole manual, no mistake. I watched videos of how to set up the table. And I closed everything and I went to sleep. The desk is still in the box. The desk is still in the box. I'm supposed to now apply what I read. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا يسخر قوم من قوم عسى أن يكونوا خيرا منهم. Don't ever make fun of others. They might be better than you in the sight of Allah. I stopped making fun of others. لا يغتب بعضكم بعضا. Do not backbite one another. No more backbiting. So I'm reading and I'm applying. Otherwise, يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تأكلوا الربا. Do not deal with riba. And yalla, day and night I'm signing contracts with riba. And oh, why I'm not feeling the barakah of the Quran? Why I'm not feeling the healing that Allah promised in Surah Al-Isra? وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ مَا هُوَ الشِّفَاء. Is Allah not telling the truth? Astaghfirullah. وَمَنْ أَصْدَقُ مِنَ اللَّهِ قِيلًا. There's no one more truthful than Allah. So I have to, in order to feel that healing, to feel that barakah, I have to, number one, try my best, because the majority of Muslims are non-Arab. And by the way, don't ever think that every single Arabi understands the whole Quran. No, this is a misconception. Every single one of us need to learn the Arabic, and eventually we'll start understanding what does Allah want from me. The Quran, literally are messages from Allah Azza wa Jal to us. When Allah Azza wa Jal said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, Allahu Akbar. Anytime, my brother, my sister, you see Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, wallahi, become all ears, because after that, either an order will be requested or something to stop, either to do something or to stop doing something. So if I have no clue what Allah is saying, so how can I implement the purpose of the revelation of the Quran? So number one, put every single effort to learn the Arabic. Let me ask you, first, before I ask you the question, I have to tell you, I love you for the sake of Allah. May Allah gather us with this love under His shade, when there's no shade except His shade. Why am I giving this introduction? Because people get upset. How much effort did you really put in learning the Arabic? You put so much effort to become a doctor, to become an IT expert, to become an engineer, to become an accountant, to become a nurse, to become whatever. You put so much effort and so much time, right? Which is all, alhamdulillah, may Allah put barakah in your life. But how much effort did you actually put to learn the language that Allah has chosen to be the language of His book? How much effort did you put? How much effort? Did you really go to the masjid and try to learn when they have a course about Arabic? Did you apply to online courses? How much effort did you put? How much time per week you dedicate to understand the Quran? Because it's not going to happen by itself, just like anything else. You did not become a doctor just like by sleeping and you woke up one day and you became a doctor. No, no, no. We went to school, we stayed up all night, we did this and we did that, and we went to paid tuitions, and we all know the story. Similarly, what effort did I put in order to understand the Quran, which is the reason for the revelation? Like I said before, and I repeat because it's extremely essential to understand, reading, memorizing, listening are all tools to get to the purpose. Just like that book, the manual I got for the desk, the reading of the manual, listening to an audio how to set up the table, all that are tools to get to the goal, which is setting up the desk. That's the goal. If I only read, if I only memorized, if I only listened, and then what's next? And I want to ask you a question, and I want you to ponder upon this question. Can you imagine the Sahaba, the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, just reading, listening, and memorizing the Quran? That's it. Omar, yalla, sit down, recite for me. Oh, no, no, no. Allahu Akbar, excellent. Why don't you recite for me? How many times you finished? Oh, I finished 10 times. Wallahi, if the Sahaba only read the Quran and memorized the Quran only without understanding and implementing, we will not be talking to each other today. If they understood Islam the way we understand it, Islam would have never left Mecca. So, my brothers and sisters, if you really want to feel the healing, the beauty of the Quran, then we have to, number one, try our best our best. I know we are all busy and we have so many things, but put it on your schedule that, Ya Allah, facilitate for me a source that I can learn the Arabic, and put an effort. When you learn and the teacher gives you a homework, please do that homework. Show Allah Azza wa Jal that, Ya Allah, really, I want to understand. Can you imagine? Can you imagine you standing in front of someone and talking to them, and you have no clue what you're saying? Wallahi, I will not do this to a human being. How about I stand in the salat and I am, as we all know, before Allah Azza wa Jal, and I have no clue what I'm saying? At least, my beloved brothers and sisters, at least the surahs that I'm reciting over and over again in my salat, at least these surahs, let me put the effort to understand what do they mean. Just the small surahs that we all recite, وَالْعَصْرِ إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ, الإخلاص, الفلق, الناس, تبت, all these surahs that we recite on a regular basis, let us understand what they mean. And when you start tasting that beauty, wallahi, you only want more. You only want more, because subhanallah, it's called Al-Quran, the one that you constantly recite. And have you ever heard someone saying, oh, subhanallah, wallahi, this Fatiha is boring? Never, ever, subhanallah. Usually when you recite something for a long time, you get bored. Except the Quran. The more you recite it, the more you love it, the more you want to know more about it. And it's amazing, amazing. When you start understanding the words of Allah Azza wa Jal, you will become so thirsty for more. You want to understand and implement. And as we all know, the more I implement, the closer I am to Allah Azza wa Jal. And the closer I am to Allah, the closer I am to fulfilling the purpose of my life, which is to worship Him. So first and foremost, do your best. Do your best, because I know we have so many things, but at least make a schedule. Half an hour, 1 hour a week, half an hour a day, whatever is good for you. But do not live your life without any Arabic whatsoever. Anything. I don't know. I'm sure there are a lot of resources in the UK, but seek it, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easy for you. Second, while I'm reading, of course, inshallah ta'ala, we will all get the ajr of every letter 10 hasanah. But beside that reading, that only for rewards, which is absolutely permitted, I have another reading, which is very, very slow, which is one ayah a day. عَمَّ يَتَسَاءَلُونَ. That's it. That's all I want from you. What does عَمَّ يَتَسَاءَلُونَ mean? Tomorrow, عن النبأ العظيم. Just one ayah, 2 ayah, whatever you can handle. Do not overwhelm yourself, so you will not get bored and, oh, this is too much, I can't. No, whatever you can. And can you imagine if we do this? Wallahi, maybe in 1 year you will finish one juz'u or juz'u and a half, and then you start really wanting more and more. So one reading is just to get all the ajr of reading, which is, inshallah, Ramadan is coming. We read a lot of Quran. But I have another reading, which is a reading with tafsir, a reading with explanation, with translation. That's a reading of focusing. That is what Allah told us, the purpose of the Quran. كتاب أنزلناه إليك مبارك ليدبروا آياته ويتذكر أولو الألباب. And then this will give increase the memory and the contemplation of the people who are a people of intellect, ulul albab. May Allah make us among them. So Arabic, second, one reading with tafsir. And now, subhanallah, with all the technology that we have, on your fingertips. You have all the tafsir with any language that you want. Wallahi, we will be questioned about these phones that we have. Can you imagine? I always think if Rasulullah ﷺ came now and saw how the Quran is in every person's pocket, while at that time you need probably a huge room to have the Quran in it because it's written on this bone and this branch and this, subhanallah. So to collect it all, you need a huge room. Now, any one of us have all kinds of access to the book of Allah. Tayyib, subhanallah. I dedicate, which is our third point, dedicate a time or a number of ayahs that you tell yourself, I will not go to sleep today until I finish the meaning of this ayah or the 15 minutes I dedicated for understanding this ayah or the surah. 15, 20, whatever is good for you. Dedicate, you do it after Fajr, after every Salat, before you sleep. Make it as part of your daily routine. I will not end this day unless I finish this. Just like you have to pray, just like you have to eat and drink, similarly, I have dedicated time or dedicated amount of ayat that I want to understand on a daily basis. It's all about us. It's all about how much effort are you putting. It's all about how much do you believe that understanding and living the Quran will change your life. When you start and you convince yourself that the only way for my life to improve is by me understanding and implementing the Quran, then and only then all these tools will help. So my brothers and sisters, approach the Quran. Subhanallah, after some time of reading the Quran all the time, we forget one very important thing. These are the words of Allah. Allah Azza wa Jal said these words, not a very famous speaker or a president or a king. Allah Azza wa Jal said these words, gave them to the best angel to give them to the best human being, and from him to all mankind. Those are so precious. These are the words of Allah Azza wa Jal. And I'm reading them. I have access to them. And in them, Allah is talking to me. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu. Ya ayyuha nas. Ya bani Adam. Allah's talking to me. Allah's telling me, if I get a message from a very famous, well-known person, I would make sure I understand the message and I frame it and I put it on the wall and I tell everybody who visit me, look, this message is from so and so. He sent it to me. It's impossible. If that message was in Chinese, in Japanese, in whatever language, you will make sure to understand and you will get someone to make translation and explanation to you so you know what does that person want from you. How about the words of Allah Azza wa Jal? How much effort did we put to understand what does Allah want from me? So my brothers and sisters, please, this is a very short talk today, just to remind myself and remind you about the importance of understanding the Quran, which will be one of our points when we discuss, inshallah ta'ala, if Allah made the trip safe to UK. One of the points that in order to improve my salat, this is one of the major points in order to improve my salat. Otherwise, I'm standing, and this happens a lot with our youth, and they come here and complain, and they say, Shaykh, to be honest with you, I have no feeling about my salat. I'm just saying words that I have no clue what they are. I'm making moves, and then I don't feel nothing. Of course, you're not going to feel anything. You have to put the effort. How much effort did you put to understand, to improve that salat? And one of the main tools to improving the salat is by understanding what I'm saying. Subhanallah. And I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make us from the people who read the Quran, understand the Quran, and implement the Quran. I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make the Quran the spring of our hearts. I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make us from the people who listen and apply. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all and protect you all. And again, I can't wait to come to the UK and meet all of you bi'idhnillah ta'ala. It's coming very close on the 17th, inshallah ta'ala, or the brothers know better, maybe by the 20th, inshallah. And looking forward to seeing you.
Jazakallah khairan, Sheikh. I really appreciate your time. Sheikh, we had a few questions, I think, if you allow, inshallah. Before I make I'm just going to make a short announcement, inshallah. So Sheikh Ustad will be joining us, but Sheikh Baajour will be joining us. This October 19th will be the actual first day of the tour. Inshallah, we'll be in London, and then we'll be in Leicester, and then we'll be in Manchester, inshallah. So I have posted it on the chat, the actual poster that you can see. And alhamdulillah, for tonight, we have a generous donor who's donated 153 tickets for everybody who's joined the live today, inshallah. We'll put in the post in the chat. Yeah.
That's very
So
nice.
yeah, alhamdulillah. So we're just going to put the code inside the chat. So when you go online to register, just please put this code in, free 150. So there's a first 150, first come, first serve, inshallah. So make it fair for everybody. But alhamdulillah, Sheikh, you've touched upon so many points, and inshallah, like we hope to obviously benefit a lot more when you come. But one or two people are saying that, do I prioritize? I'm a new Muslim, I'm a revert. Do I prioritize fiqh? Do I prioritize everything else? I mean, what advice would you give to the revert, inshallah? Like, they're trying to learn the deen, and then also, Quran as well. What should I prioritize? That's one of the things that they're asking, inshallah.
Excellent. First of all, for every single revert in this group, may Allah bless you, may Allah protect you. I am very jealous of you that Allah has chosen you. And subhanallah, I don't know, such a huge blessing that you have chosen this deen. May Allah accept from you. Second, subhanallah, let's ask ourselves, all the Sahaba were reverts. Did they study fiqh first? Did they study whatever? We all know that the whole emphasis was about the Quran. All the emphasis was the Quran, because the Quran includes all the rest of the sciences. Number one, even when you go to study Sharia, when you go to any of the schools of Sharia, the first thing they teach you is Arabic. And they tell you, listen, you have to understand the Arabic in order to be able to understand all the terms we will be discussing with you. So my dear sister or brother, the revert, make sure that I'm not telling you stop all your other ilm and your sciences, but make your priority the Arabic. To understand the Arabic, specifically the Arabic of the Quran, because that will make you understand the message from Allah Azza wa Jal, and eventually everything else will fall into place. The Sahaba, which we can call them the reverts of their time, what they did is they memorized, read 10 ayah, memorized them, implemented them, and then went to the next 10 ayah. So they said, I'm not going to memorize 10 more until I finish understanding and implementing these 10 ayahs. And this is how they became the companions. Yes, make your priority the Quran, and inshallah ta'ala, everything else will fall into place.
Sheikh, one other question as well regarding that. Sometimes we rush. What I mean rush is sometimes we pick up the book of translation and we read it like a novel. Like we're trying to finish it cover to cover quickly as possible. Sometimes, how does that like for me, I don't feel that that's necessary. Like sometimes, is it best to take your time? Like, do I take, like you said, just 10 ayahs? That could take me a week or 10 days to really internalize it. Or do I try to read it from cover to cover as quickly as possible? Like
No.
even the translation.
Yeah, no. The best thing is, subhanallah, the best way is the way of the Sahaba. Take few ayahs, understand them, repeat them until they are established and concrete in your mind and in your heart, and then move to the others. Huh? Take your time. Rushing because the quicker you study, the quicker you forget. So no, take your time. Subhanallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He could have revealed the Quran in one day, but it took 23 years. Why? There's a hikmah. Take your time, understand, implement. Bismillah, make a group. Get a buddy, and you with each other. Okay, you know what? Let's make this halaqa, this group, about understanding this surah, and then you discuss amongst yourself, and you make questions, and it becomes like a weekly thing. And then you look forward that, you know what? I studied very well. I can't wait, to tell my brothers, my peers, that what I learned today and all that. And subhanallah, يعني وفي ذلك فليتنافس المتنافسون. Allah said, let them compete. This is what we're supposed to compete with. Subhanallah, we compete in so many dunya matters. Why don't we compete in this also? So take a small part. Do not rush. Understand, like I said, first and foremost, the surahs that we constantly recite in the salawat. I start with these short surahs, and then eventually, inshallah ta'ala, gradually I will be understanding more of the Quran.
Sheikh, I think one final question, I know short on time. It's for the youth, for the children. What's the best way to get them to start learning Quran? Because obviously in the West, we always learn your English, or you got your mother tongue. Sometimes it's not Arabic. But what is the best way to get children involved into learning Arabic?
Subhanallah. There's a saying in Arabic that says, Al-ilmu fi al-saghar kan-naqshu fi al-hajar. Knowledge at a young age is like engraving in stone. It does not leave. So just like me, at least, I don't know about you, English was my second language. Why can't we make Arabic as the second language? They're going to learn English anyway. They're going to learn Urdu. They're going to learn everything. But why don't I emphasize that Arabic is the second language? So just like we learned when we were kids, ABC, let them learn Alif, Ba, Ta as a part of their life. And I get those small, basic, intermediate books about Alif for Asad, Ba for Bab, and Ta for Tufah, and all simple things. And we review every single day, and make it as a fun thing with the children. Do not make it sound like you have to, and if you don't, I'm going to do this to you. And no. Make it like a weekly fun thing that we're going to sit down and learn the Arabic. And make it like, Baba, if you finish these, Allahu Akbar, I have a beautiful gift for you. And then they start competing, the kids. I finished this before, SubhanAllah, make it in an interesting manner so they look forward to learn the Arabic. Baba, do you know that this is the language that Allah chose to be in His book? It's not Chinese, it's not English, not French, it's Arabic. Don't you want to know the language that Allah has chosen? Allah always chooses the best, right? So He chose this to be His language. So let's all learn it. Allahu Akbar. From the beginning of their life, let them know the importance of the Arabic. I wish that someone did this to their children from a young age. So when they grow up, khalas, it become subhanallah. I know so many people in our community, they only speak Arabic at home. So the kids makes an effort to understand the Arabic because, Baba, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand English. So they start talking to them in Arabic, subhanallah. So that kid will know the importance of the Arabic. They know the importance of learning the Arabic. And earlier, my sister, don't say, oh, he's very young, he's 3, he's 4. No. Even at 3 and 4, you start with simple words. The words that we use every single day, tawila, bab, muftah, the simple things, baba, all these things that we use on a regular basis. And then, subhanallah, you will find the child falling in love with the language of the Quran. So it's all about gentleness and being consistent. Consistency and gentleness in the teaching. Don't go crazy with a huge course and make it so much as if I don't do it, I'm going to be this and be that. No. One word a day, one statement a week, one slowly, and try to make it as fun as possible and be very gentle when you are teaching them. Even Allah told Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, لو كنت فظا غليظ القلب لانفضوا من حولك. If you were harsh, Ya Muhammad, everybody would leave. So don't be harsh with the children. Make them love the Quran. And when they love the Quran, subhanallah, everything in their life will change.
Jazakallah khairan, Ustad. I know you've short on time, and we really appreciate the time that you've given us. So I just want to quickly share the poster for everybody while you're here, Ustad. So just hopefully everyone can see this, inshallah. So inshallah, can everyone see this poster on? If someone gives me a thumbs up, inshallah. Uh, so there's a QR code on the screen at the moment. If you can see it, inshallah. See. Is that real or no? Okay. If not, I'll share it in the chat again, inshallah. So just to, like I said, let everyone know the dates again. Ustad Baajour will be with us. Baajour will be with us on from Friday the 19th all the way through the 22nd of December, inshallah. So in Friday will be in London, and on the Saturday he will be in Leicester, and on the Sunday he will be in Manchester. We'll be sharing the poster again, and for the free tickets, inshallah, that someone, alhamdulillah, a sponsor has donated, it's free 150. So FREE 150. It's in the group chat. It's all in capitals. Inshallah, if you put that in the online ticketing, and you will get your tickets, inshallah, for those who are able to get those free 150 tickets, inshallah. Ustad, I really appreciate, inshallah, your time. And we, inshallah, are looking forward to seeing you here in the UK. I know it's one of your first trips abroad to the UK where you're speaking, and inshallah, we just, alhamdulillah, looking forward to you. So many people are reaching out and saying, can we have Ustad? And we said, look, he's here for a short time, but inshallah, we've arranged it throughout the country. So from right away through London, up in the Midlands and up north. So we've trying to capture the whole country in this short space of time. And alhamdulillah, and it's probably a permanent time. We've got a holiday season as well. So alhamdulillah, everyone can, come out and join us, inshallah. And Sheikh, just a quick thing, what can people look forward to, inshallah, when you come, and what kind of tips or what kind of things that can we, inshallah, get?
Okay, listen to me carefully. If you come and listen with the intention to improve your salat, you're going to be a completely different person. I promise you that. But there's those conditions. You have to come, Ya Allah, I am coming to listen, and Ya Allah, help me apply. And with that, wallahi, you will be looking forward for the next salat. Bi-idhnillah ta'ala, with the help of Allah Azza wa Jal. That's all I can tell you right now. You come yourself and witness, inshallah.
Barakallah khairan, barakallah feekum, Sheikh. So,
And if you stay, Alim, afterward, I would like to talk to you after we finish, inshallah.
inshallah, no problem, inshallah. So, barakallah feekum, everyone. Jazakallah khairan. We really appreciate everybody's time, inshallah, tonight. I know tomorrow is a school night for most people. Maybe parents are getting ready for the kids, inshallah. So, I don't want to keep you any longer than I need to, inshallah. So, what you, inshallah, jazakallah khairan. We'll see you next time. And like I said, everybody, in the chat quickly, if you want to take the code down and the website and the link, inshallah, I'll get one of the volunteers, inshallah, if you can put it in the chat one more time, just a link to the online ticketing and the free code. Inshallah, we hope to have that, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.